What's up, Block fam? Here in the park today, and we are going over the Indian Scout that we customized and have given away. So in this video, we're just going to be going over basically everything that we did in customizing the Indian Scout here to make it into like a bobber. Indian does sell what they call an Indian Scout bobber from the factory, but it's only as bobber as it can be within DOT regulations. So we went a little bit further. So this is a 2016 Indian Scout, and it came as the regular Scout model. It is not the Scout 60. This is the one. It has the 6-speed transmission and the larger engine in it. With the upgrades that we did to it, it was already quick, and it's even quicker now. And then we focused a lot on the aesthetic as well, just because wanted to give it kind of that lean, low, like muscular look to it. I think we've done a pretty decent job on. Sounds great, runs really well. The bike only has, it's like 1,204.5 miles on the clock. Incredibly low mileage. The winner of this bike is Michael McNeil. Called him and told him that we're finishing up a couple videos on it and then we are going to ship it to him. It has gone through the full service at Indian Motorcycle, got fresh fluids, thorough inspection and all that, and it's basically ready to be put on a truck and shipped to his doorstep. So we gave this bike away for season 5 of the Blockhead bike build, or Blockhead bike giveaway as we're calling it now. If you guys are interested in possibly getting in on the next season, so we're in season 6 now, we're giving away a 2021 Harley-Davidson Road Glide, which we are customizing, building out into a performance bagger, and then we are also giving away a 2005 Honda RC51, which is a V-twin Supersport 1000cc absolute beast of a bike, incredibly rare and hard to find in the condition that we found it in. If you guys have any questions on that, you're interested, check out blockheadmoto.com. Go there, sign up, select a tier level. You also get access to Discord. You get some discounts on like the shop and a couple other perks, which are all listed out over there. So you guys be sure to go check it out. Going over the Indian Scout, we'll start in the very front. We did change this front fender. The front fender is much smaller, hugs the tire a little more. And this is from a company called Tank Machine, which is actually in France. It's the same company that we used for the rear fender. All of the instructions came in French, so we kind of had to figure it all out on our own. We do have an LED headlight. I forget the brand, but you guys can find the link down in the description below. Also, just a note before we get too far into it, this entire season, season 5, was sponsored by Revzilla. They helped us out with a lot of the parts. Big shout out to Revzilla. You guys be sure to check them out for all of your motorcycle equipment needs. Also here on the top, we've got the Olin Suspension. So Olin's there. Now it did come with adjusters, but the adjusters didn't fit in the top, so I have had to contact them about that to get those replaced. The adjusters do have like a little piece that sticks out, but they were too large to fit into the stock tubes. It is Olin's suspension on the inside. We do have to just replace the adjusters, which hopefully I should be able to get them to send those out. It's a pretty easy replacement, so nothing too big. The bars, which are Rizoma, so really quality bars. I'd never used anything Rizoma before until these bars, and then the bar and mirrors as well. The adapters here, I'd always seen Rizoma set up, but I'd never actually, tried them out, put hands on them, used them on a bike. And I have to say the quality of these things is just really awesome. They feel really good. The glass, one of the things I like about the glass a lot is it's got kind of like that blue tint to it, kind of like that luxury car brand. Like whenever you see BMWs, they've got kind of like that bluish glass. Bars used to come back whenever they were stock, and they would come way back here, and so it just added this whole different look. So it did bring them down a little bit and it pushed them forward. You can change the angle if you loosen the top clamps. You want to change up the angle a little bit. We did remove the mirrors from the tops here, so we got the little block off plates there and there. You can basically do full lock either way, and you've got clearance, so no issues going to the right or going to the left. They just really look good. They lower the profile of the bike a lot. It does have forward controls. Your rider triangle, I mean, it's pretty much like hands, seat, forwards. So you are in this position. It's not meant to be like a long distance rider by any means. After a while, probably say an hour, it's just more meant as like an around town bike. It's got performance. The thing absolutely rips, which I'll show you guys here in just a little bit. Aesthetically, to me, it looks great. I've got an appreciation for all sorts of styles of bikes. I really wanted to like show, you don't have to do too much to make these bikes just look really different. And so that's what we were able to accomplish, especially with the fender eliminator, from Tank Machine, and the floating style seat from Indian. I looked for grips. I wasn't able to find any grips in stock. It's really hard to find parts right now. Stock gauge, obviously. Everything here is stock. I thought about doing paint, but we kind of ran out of time. Over here on the right side, we do have the Two Brothers Racing Shorty 2-to-1 exhaust, which sounds just really great. And after going through a few heat cycles, it is starting to kind of like turn that bronze color. Additionally, something you guys can't see, but it's under the tank, there is a Trask Air Cleaner on this thing. So Trask makes really great performance products. We replaced the big old clunky restrictive stock air box with a very high flow Trask filter. Also, what you guys can't see underneath all this is a Dynojet tuner. So there is a Dynojet power commander on this. It is currently running a canned map. What that means is that it's a map that Dynojet has already created for a setup similar to this. So basically high flow air cleaner and an exhaust. And so the Dynojet isn't quite tuned for the bike yet, but we are going to be tuning it specifically for this bike, and that will be a separate episode where we take it to MMI, we'll get it all tuned up, we're going to see what the final power numbers are. In the beginning of the season, we introduced 3 motorcycles that we gave away, right, for season 5. So this was one of them. Then we also have the Harley-Davidson Iron 883 originally, which we built into a Hooligan 1200 kit from SNS. And then we also did the Yamaha Bolt, which we did a stage 1 to. So we did performance upgrades on all of them. We wanted to shape this up as a face-off season. And so we're gonna get this tuned, we're gonna see what the final power numbers are. The Harley is already tuned, we know what the final numbers are there. And then the Yamaha Bolt, it also has a power commander on it from Dynojet, and we're gonna get that one tuned and see what those numbers are so that we can see which one of them wins. I'm gonna bet it's the Scout. This bike absolutely rips. It is really, really fast. So it does have a complete stage 1 Trask Air Cleaner, Dynojet power commander as the tuner, and then the 2-to-1 exhaust. So we're getting a lot more air flowing through there, which increases the responsiveness, you know, the power of the bike. And then as soon as we get that like really nice tune specifically made for this bike on it, it's gonna run even better. So, but it already runs really, really well. So moving back, we do have the floating, I think they call this like the 1920s style seat. Now this is from Indian Motorcycle, so you guys can actually order it straight from the manufacturer. And what they do is they send you the seat, they send you the bracket, and then they also send you this plate, and that's pretty much everything that you need for that. We did go ahead and eliminate the fender. You can run this with the stock fender. And then we also got this lighting, very sleek, fully integrated lighting, really quality stuff from a company called Radiance. Doesn't show up on camera as bright as it actually is, but it's pretty crazy bright. Hazards on. Very, very bright. So we had some issues trying to figure out that. Indian Motorcycles, they reverse the polarity of the signals. I had this other unit that I used, which didn't work, unfortunately. So I ended up contacting this company. They were incredibly helpful. Bought that part from them, and it was plug and play. You guys will notice whenever we get on the bike later, there is a little warning sign on the gauge. Now that is the chassis warning light. It is not like a check engine light. And the reason that is there is because with this light, there are 2 harnesses, and I actually used the extra harness that we didn't need to use to run the plate light. It basically left one of the circuits open, and so I basically need to remove that, and I need to run the plate light into a new wire coming off of this harness, which is really simple. Just something that I need to remove this stuff and go back in and do that. You know, it's 2 wires, super easy, but that will basically get rid of that little indicator light or warning light. The block off plate here is Tank Machine. So like I said, I'll be sure to include all the links to everything down in the description below. This was that company that is from France. So Tank Machine, and then also the little fender piece down there that holds this fender on. This fender is plastic, flat black, pretty much same as the tank, so you can't really like tell the difference at all. If you guys want to get it custom painted, obviously you can. And then it has the support bracketry here, which goes through the stock location, and then also you've got the belt guard, which comes with it, which goes into this bracket here, and then this support screws in underneath there. I did mention the Olin's suspension, so you've got the Olin's reservoir suspension. The fact that we've got Olin's on the front and the rear of this motorcycle now, just going into turns and feeling like bumps where like I would usually feel on a different bike that doesn't handle it as well. Like, Olin Suspension is an absolute game changer. This bike rides really, really well now. Stock, it rode really rough, and so that suspension was definitely one of those really big requirements in upgrading the performance of the bike, and it just feels incredible. So I hope the winner enjoys that. We did go ahead and relocate the license plate from the back of the fender here to the side, and it is lighted, basically just runs through the axle. And the cool thing about this license plate relocation is that it actually goes into the axle part there and has the little markings for the adjustment. So we'll go ahead and show you guys that lit up. Yeah, I think that's it. Overall, the aesthetic of the bike, I love it. I like that the rear tire is so exposed. It looks really good in my opinion. A lot of people are gonna not like this bike, which I totally understand, but it's up to the winner to decide if they like it or not, and he does, which I'm stoked about. That is the overview of the 2016 Indian Scout that we customized and gave away for Season 5 of the Blockhead bike build. Like I said, we are giving away a 2021 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Performance Bagger, and then we are also giving away the Honda RC51 for Season 6. Would highly encourage you guys to get in on that. It's gonna end sooner than you think. Go to blockheadmoto.com, sign up for that, get access to the Discord as well, get access to discounts on the shop and other perks. So let's go ahead and we're gonna throw the helmet on and we will take it up the street so you guys can hear it. One thing I will say, this thing is very, very low. Basically, seat comes up to right about my knee. Throwing a leg over it, I mean, that's me fully standing up. We kickstand back. If I'm sitting down, my knees are bent. The Scout from the factory is a pretty short bike. I don't think what we did to it in terms of suspension and the seat lowered it much at all. I think it's probably still about the same. It definitely, with the bars, like bringing the bars down a little bit, it feels like a really low bike. The sound of that TBR exhaust sounds awesome. This is the first Indian motorcycle that I've heard with the liquid cooled engine running exhaust, and it just sounds incredible. I am like very, very impressed. But it is really, really loud. Sounds good when you're getting on it. I'll show you guys here in a minute. Yes, that is me taking it easy. This bike just sounds great, and she is quick. Go ahead and get on it here. Woo! Dude, don't underestimate the Indian Scout, man. That thing is fast, and it's got like a higher RPM range too than like a lot of cruisers, so it can rev out pretty high. I'm really interested to see what the new power numbers are with you know, the stage 1 and like a proper tune on it. Still had an extra gear to go. The bike, I mean, with the lower bars, they are skinnier as well, a bit more narrow than the last ones. It just handles really well. It does have the wider tires on it, so you would think that it would make it a little bit more of a chore to like throw over in the turns and stuff, but it's really not bad at all. In terms of comfort for the seat is actually pretty decent, but like I said, it's definitely not meant as like a long-term commuter. This is more like your stylish bar hopper, you know, local around town. Moto City recently rode this bike, and you know, he said whenever he first got on it, like he thought the seating position was going to be uncomfortable, and you are kind of, you know, I wouldn't say folded up. Like I've ridden bikes where it's like you're way more like folded. You are definitely in that very acute triangle, rider triangle position. It's just not meant to be like a distance rider. You'll feel it in your back. I mean, you can do it. It's just all about your willpower, you know, because the bike will definitely do it. Especially like with the gearing, like it's going to perform just fine on highway, but with how we have it set up, you don't have any like wind protection or anything like that. And I'm going to show you guys that whenever we get onto the highway. The lean angle isn't too great on it, but it's just meant as a cruiser, you know. It's just meant to be like a stylish looking bobbery, like I say bobber, but it's not like a true bobber, you know. Since it's got the suspension in the back and obviously stuff on it that
doesn't absolutely need to be on it for it to run. I would almost feel bad, you know, taking everything off in true bobber fashion as a giveaway, just for the fact that, like, you take off the rear fender, but if you don't have a rear fender, the front tire tends to throw stuff up at you, hit you in the face, as I found out from the bobber that I have, the Sucker Punch. Oh man, if you hit, you know, wet roads, you're in the range, bobber is just not the nicest. It's the sound of the bike that just gets me. It just really seals the deal, especially like whenever you're slowing down, the decel kind of garble that it has. That right there, if you're not like... It's a great bike, guys. Like, I am thoroughly impressed by the Indian Scout, especially like the performance of it, the speed. It's quick. Like Jimmy Mack said in that first dyno tuning session where we got the stock horsepower numbers, he said, if you ride a Harley, what was it? He said, like, if you've got a Sportster, don't go up against an Indian Scout, even a stock Indian Scout. Oh, the mirrors work great. I mean, you can see behind you just fine. A lot of people do comment on that, like mirrors that are under the bars. Dude, whenever you're riding, you can see just fine behind you, like even here, because the mirrors that like come up and here, it's like I always end up looking at my arms, like my shoulders, and so you got to do this kind of like mirror lean in order to really see behind you, where you're like this and tucking your shoulder in. All right, let's get on it here from second. It's funny, despite like the seat, you know, being like more of a flat seat, it's like once you get down and you're kind of like tucked, dude, the bike, it feels so planted. Doing a pull like that on my MT-09, the bars, they tend to do this, but man, this thing is stable, very, very solid. Let's get on highway. This is gonna suck. You can feel when those when it starts to kick in. Oh man, a highway, not the most fun. In terms of how the bike is running, the transmission is perfectly geared for it. There's just nowhere to go. And with the forward controls, you can't even like duck down that much to get away from the wind on this bike, man. You just gotta like lay down on it, like let your feet dangle back. Anyways, guys, that is the custom Indian Scout bobber. Like I said, I'm not really sure what the hell to call this bike. We did the whole fender eliminator and stuff. It's bobber-ish, but not quite bobber. During the whole season, I really never knew what to call it, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Big shout out to Revzilla for sponsoring season 5 and helping us, you know, customize the 3 bikes. Really, really greatly appreciate it. You guys be sure to go check them out. I'll be sure to drop links down in the description below for all the parts that we use, as well as Revzilla if you guys are interested in scooping up any moto gear from performance parts, so like gear for yourself, helmets, jackets, anything like that. Also, huge thanks to the Blockhead Patreon community. We couldn't do this stuff without you guys, and we have shifted over from Patreon to our own website, so I guess we're not calling it the Patreon Blockhead community, but just the Blockhead community that decides to go beyond that subscribe button that allows us to be able to buy, customize, and give away motorcycles is pretty damn awesome. The fact that like the channel is to that point, and we're continuing to grow and challenge ourselves, and through each one of these we learn something new, and we're able to take the bike and give it back to the community that makes it all possible. That's an incredibly rewarding feeling for me, and I can't thank you guys enough. Like I said, be sure to go check out blockheadmoto.com, join in on season 6, because the Harley Road Glide that we're building out and the Honda RC51 that we're giving away, they're gonna be awesome, man. If you guys have any questions on it, be sure to post down in the comments below, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, this insight into our custom Indian Scout. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button for me. It lets YouTube know that we're doing a good job. helps us to hack that YouTube algorithm. If y'all aren't subscribed, you want to continue to see moto content like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon also so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, ride safe out there, stay vigilant. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.